maybe you know, Kurt, I don't know, or anybody who's watching this, please comment if you know. I have seen online, it looks like some type of fucking, I don't know, octagon ring cage kind of shit hybrid. And I have seen these guys, they're like no shirt, shorts, barefoot, with like a fencing mask or like some type of weight calf mask. And they're doing full stick fighting. And it looks like to be almost like it's an MMA type fight. I don't know if this is a constant league, if it was a one-off. I don't know. I'd like to know more about it. But they definitely have had stuff like that. See, that right there, that we need to fan the flames on that, because that could take FMA to the next level, because now you're starting to have like, it's like real fighting with the stick. Imagine now, people embrace that, people nurture it. People did what like they did with the UFC. They try to like, okay, how do we make this competitive? How do we put rules to, how do we sanction this? How do we do this so that this shit can grow? Imagine. And now imagine if something like that started to catch wind, and then an organization like ONE FC, who has different disciplines, that's it. 3 rounds, one is a weapon. Yes. Imagine now. Imagine if ONE FC started doing that shit. And then because ONE FC starts doing that shit, there's a pinnacle for it to be reached. Now you start having amateur organizations.
Dude, so we have Bowhurst, which is full contact armored European HEMA
which
fighting.
Is dope. Which is dope. Yes. And Thomas Holtman, who's a dog brother, Thomas Holtman, Kung Fu Dog, he does that shit. I've been watching his journey. He's balls deep in that shit, and he's kicking ass. I love that shit. I want to try that.
Yeah, but we have that. Okay, we just have that. FMA can do that, and this is the primary argument that I run into with things that one of the things that would elevate FMA to the next level. Because again, competitive people. I'll just say Americans because I'm an American. Americans want to compete. They want certificates. They want to have progress. They want to be champions. They want stuff to prove that they're good at what they do. This is why we have championship football. This is why we have championship wrestling. This is why we have professional leagues of excellence in athletic endeavors. So with FMA not having a competitive outlet that is accepted across the board, what is the upward progression for an FMA practitioner? One, you can be like, I'm an FMA guy, sure. I'm going as a law enforcement military trainer, sure. I own a school, sure. But without competition, the average school mom and dad sending their kid to the dojo, to the gym, whatever, to do FMA, they're going to see 2 realms of either stick sparring tag or dog brothers, but they won't have that thing to channel them in between. Because like taekwondo, sport karate, jiu-jitsu, they have boxing, they have a medium of competition at every stage of development. And they have something for people to look forward to at the end for competition, whether it's the Olympics or being a professional. But FMA, we don't have that. We have it in small circles, but we don't have that.
I remember sparring this guy. His name is Leon. I can't remember his last name. He's a boxer from Combat Arts. And yes. And even the HEMA will. Yeah. Yeah. It is a greater chance of injury. It's pretty crazy, but like it's still like I can't get enough of it. Like it's amazing. Like when these guys smash each other's helmet with a shield and that shit gets dented on, like they can't even take that shit off. Like that's dangerous shit, you know? But what was I gonna say? Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
And people say that this is just MMA with sticks. Like
so what they're doing right now, they're just this like this could evolve to be so much.
Oh yeah. This could be so much because there's actual risk of injury here.
I'll tell you something though. I don't like the double stick. I don't like this double stick shit. I'd like to see it more with like a single stick, and the reason why is because it would be more inclined to punch and grapple a little bit more. But that shit is dope as fuck. like this is where you need to bring it, because this is what's going to make it an athletic art. Like, you don't get me wrong, you get a lot of athleticism from training and skill, flow training, all that stuff. You still get cardio, get movement. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying is like an athlete who trains to fight is it's different. It's very different. It's like it's like apples and oranges. You are training to be at a peak condition to endure physical endurance against resisting force, right?
The intention is different because the end state is different.
100%. That there would elevate. And then you would start to see like the influences of Balintawak and KI and this and Pikiti and that. And you start to see like, oh shit, like for me, before I got sidetracked, I want to finish this thought. This guy Leon, right? I have never seen it before. And this guy didn't even train like that much in the classes at the time. But we were getting our friend Dave ready for a gathering, right? Who, I think he got the label dog. He's not I don't know if he's full dog yet. Yeah. But I know people that run sorry, that went real quick. Sorry. But Dave was getting ready for a gathering, right? And so we Shark Tanked him. There was like 11 of us. 11 or 12 of us. Paulo film. And this guy Leon, who's a boxer, they put a blade in his hand. Bro. Yeah. That was before anywhere else. And I'm sure it existed elsewhere, but that was the first place I seen somebody box with a blade.
Yeah, Belton does it with Charlie.
Yeah, I like Belton. I don't know him really well. I've met him a few times, but like again, see, this is okay. Sidetrack. Remind me what I was talking about with Leon, okay? But see how Belton, he does Muay Thai, he does jiu-jitsu, he does Filipino martial arts, he respects the individual art, but he himself also has learned to merge them. This is growth. This is good. Okay. Because
of NSI gives him because Datu Kelly S Worden's methodology with NSI is blend it and make your own. That's because he's also a renegade JKD guy. So there's that. But again, knife boxing with Leon. Sorry, sidetrack.
So when I seen that, I was like, oh shit. Because I was always doing this like bikini shit. I wasn't just a fucking pop, stab, pop. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, fuck, this is fucking dope. And then I started playing with that, and I'm playing with it to this day. I'm actually like trying to codify like my own progression. I know it's been done before, but like I'm not them, I'm me. I need it for me. Right? Yeah. So but yeah, like stuff like that. I would have never seen that if I didn't I didn't see that in a Pikiti. I didn't see that in a Balint. And then when I saw Balintawak, I was like, oh man, this is boxing and trapping with sticks.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
It's dope, right? Now I'm a horrible student.
So am I.
Because I hate the reps. I just want to like play. But you know what? I have a good coach. Guru Joe is like, no, you're gonna learn this shit. Like you have to do it like this. You need to learn to say count to 10 and this and that and like I like it, right? I don't go all the time because I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I'm still training under him, and I take my daughter, and my daughter loves it. And I'm like, I'm so happy that I'm training with my kid, and you know what I mean? And you know what the cool thing is too, is like through training FMA, I found out that that Portuguese people have their own stick fighting art. Jogo de pau. I didn't know that shit. I'm Portuguese, but I learned my culture through somebody else's culture. Yeah. You see, like this is how beautiful shit is. But like this blade boxing stuff, so like go to just an average boxer, kind of like how we were talking about like the jiu-jitsu guys grappling with the knife. Imagine just going to like a boxing gym and like, yo, put this in your hand, box with this. Let me see what you do. Yeah. Just videotape him. That FMA guy can go home with a fucking month's worth of homework.
Oh yeah. You
know what I mean?
And again, it's contextualizing stuff, because when you get stuck in a single silo of one point of data, you're only going to do what that is. But if you have the exposure of other stuff and the freedom of self to express and explore and also break down the barriers of preference and lineage, but actually like, I'm going to go learn a thing and make it my own. That's a dangerous human being, is what that is. Yeah. But that's also a very excellent human being, because they have the opportunity to see beyond just the stylistic preferences and prejudice. They can take what works for them and make it work.
Yeah, I think that's at the end of the day, that's what it is, because one of the most influential things I've ever heard, and I heard it in person. I think it was like my third, something like that, third or fourth Dan Inosanto seminar, right? And by the way, those seminars are like two different speeds. It's like listening to him talk, and then he busts out this like, okay, you guys got it, let's go. And you're like, what the fuck? My head hurts. But I love it. I love it. He drops so many seeds. But he said, I remember being in a seminar, sitting on the floor, and I'm listening to him talk, and he's just like dropping knowledge. And then he said, he goes, if I teach you, no, he says, if I tell you, you'll forget. If you discover it, you'll never forget. Yeah. And the first time I heard him say that, it was just like, oh, like it just resonated right away. I was like, man, you know, if I would have thought about it, I would have come to that conclusion. But sometimes people just say things to you in such a way that you just like, just have that epiphany, right? You just need to hear it from a certain person at a certain time. But like, that's what it is, man. Like these guys who like spend all this time teaching their student and telling them how to do something and where to do something. You have the robot student that's like, yes, master, yes, Sifu, yes, Sifu. But like, it's the ones that like, I don't believe you. I don't know about that.
Ask questions.
That's the guy that's going to be like, he might know, the one guy can know like all the theory, all the curriculum. He'll be a good teacher because he can break it down because it's verbatim. And then you got the guy who knows like maybe 3 things on that list of 10. But he is immersed himself in depth. He can do that shit with his eyes closed. He lived it. He knows it. He's repped it. He don't even know how to teach it, but he can do it like nobody else.
Well, it's the whole I want to butcher this because there's 2 different words here. Is it proprioception? Right? Yeah, proprioception. Proprioceptive movement is that you can adapt and quickly learn because of the familiarity of other movements. Because you've done so, a forehand swing, angle 1, that's a pitch, that's a throwing a football. I mean, it's movement that you do. But you have to contextualize it. But you also have to have the freedom to contextualize it. Because the problem with somebody who is somebody who is a purist student who is regurgitated curriculum because their grandmaster didn't mentor them to say, hey, ask questions, advocate for yourself, and express and explore and find your own voice. They get hung up on the terminology and get hung up on stuff, and they don't make the connections between other things. When the fact is, it's all human movement. You just get hung up on the preferences of methodology and curriculum.
And it's like it's almost like religion too, right? Like you grow up in a household, you're going to grow up this religion. And then you're going to come to a point where you're going to question your religion. And then when you question religion, you need to seek other religion, because not necessarily to change religion, but you need to seek other religion to find out what makes yours so different, because yours is all you know. And then once you acquire that information, you get to this wonderful point where you get to choose what's your religion. Yes. Because,
and again, this is the issue about the master student dynamic, is this issue about tyranny and sovereignty. You have to, and this is where you run into the cult of personality, is that dynamic, that social contract gets abused by the leader, the instructor, the master, and the student is so bought into it, so mesmerized by it, where they lose their free agency and just are slaves to whatever that master is going to say. And they don't have the opportunity to express, let alone are self-aware that they have the opportunity to ask questions and express themselves and seek out the answers that they need, and not just relying upon somebody telling them what to do.
Yeah. Like I try to do